Hey guys, it's Peanut and Ice Cream Bar. I have another wig video for you today, this time discussing two different techniques in one video. Before we get started, I just wanted to say, if you like this type of video, if you want to see more of this type of video, please consider supporting me on Patreon. I really appreciate all your help. So the first thing I did to prep this wig was to comb through and dye some alpaca hair, and I made a wig cap. If you need detailed instructions on how to make a wig cap, I made a video about that, and I will link it in the description box below. So obviously what things to consider when you're making a wig is what style you want to make it in. And this wig in particular, we're going to make short in the back and blunt cut bangs in the front. So we're basically going to follow any other way that I would make a wig or you would make a wig. We're just going to start gluing hair around the edge of the wig cap, and I'm going to make the hair I'm gluing very short because I know I want this to be a short wig. I'm not going to make it maybe as short as it will end up being because that would be very hard to handle little pieces of hair that are that small, but I am going to make it as short as I feel comfortable handling, and I'm not exactly sure what the length will be yet, so this is going to help me determine how long the hair is going to fall down at the end. And then for a while I'm just going to continue gluing shorter hair and layering it on top of each other, making a nice layered effect. Of course, if you didn't want a layered effect, you could, have all the hair coming down to the same length. It's really up to you and what kind of hairstyle you want to create. As I get closer and closer to the top of the wig cap, I'm going to start gluing on longer and longer hair. This isn't because I want the hair to necessarily be that long, it's because I want to make sure that the hair is covering everything, but I don't want to have it cut into layers yet. I'm going to do the layers at the end. While that's happening, I'm also working on the rest of the wig. Around the ears, I'm making these kind of longer tendrils of hair to make it look a little asymmetric and fun. Not really for any purpose, just because I wanted to create an interesting style, and so that's what I went for. As for the bangs, I'm really just using any leftover hair that I have from cutting hair to size in the back, and I'm gluing that on the front. The bangs I'm also going to cut later, and they're going to be a really easy cut because they're going to be pretty blunt. So as long as they're all falling to the same length at some point, yeah, I can just use any hair that I want. Now to finish up the top of this wig, what I've done is take a little bit of hair, and I'm going to fold it with tinfoil. And I'm actually going to flat iron it in that position, so when I take it out, it's going to have a fold flat ironed into it. And I'm going to use Mod Podge, and I'm just going to put the Mod Podge right in the fold of the fold, right? And glue that onto the wig, so that when it dries, the hair underneath is going to be loose, and the hair on top is going to be loose, and all the Mod Podge should, in theory, be covered. So the next thing to do is to start styling your hair. I'm going to start off with scissors, and I'm just going to cut the rough shape that I want all of the hair to be in, so it's not this like giant poofy scene kid looking thing. It's still gonna look pretty scene kid at the end, but slightly less poofy. Then what I'm going to do thin the hair out a little bit is I'm going to take a razor. This is just a regular razor. I don't have fancy tools, and I'm going to start putting some layers into the back of the hair. Remember that if you really mess up, you can always put a little more hair on, you can always make another wig, so it's not a big deal. But what you want to do is just kind of gently run it through the hair and just be really careful. Very gently put it where you want a layer to end, and then pull down from there. Obviously, if you've already glued your hair in layers, you don't need to do this at all, but if you were like me and you got lazy and you wanted to do the layers afterward, you can use this method. It's a little bit more random looking than trying to use scissors, in my opinion, and it's pretty fast, and the idea is user will make the layers look a little less blunt than if you had used scissors or if you had pre-cut your layers. So I'm also going to use the razor to thin out these tendrils a little bit because they were a little fatter than I wanted them to be. And I'm going to use the razor to very lightly put a little bit of different lengths into the bangs. I want the bangs to be blunt cut, but I also want them to look like they have been growing, right? They are not just perfectly blunt all the time. They have little hairs that are longer and some that are a little shorter. And then finally, I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut the shape of bangs that I want. I might cut a little bit more into the wig than I originally thought I wanted the bangs to be. Again, it's all what you want the hair to look like. So yeah, once you finish styling the wig, it is completed and you can have the time of your life taking pictures of it, or just, you know, regular take pictures of it. I don't know, whatever you feel like doing. Whatever is good for you. Anyway, so those are blunt cut bangs, and that is a way to make short hair. I hope that you guys found this video informative and useful, and I will talk to all of you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!